Hi, this is Cheryl for Bayer's Pampered Stampers. I want to talk to you today about probably one of my favorite craft tools from 2023 from My Sweet Petunia. It's called the Precision Glue Press. There have been a lot of questions about this, a lot of misunderstandings, and that sort of thing. I just absolutely love this thing, and it saved me so much, so let me tell you about it. First of all, here's the box. Pretty small and unassuming. When you open it up, you've got a number of pieces inside. Oops. First of all, an extra bottle, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Then we've got the glue press and the stand that it sits on. So there's the stand. And here's the glue press. Pretty unassuming little tool. I liken it to a caulking gun. Some other people see it more as a hot glue gun. Again, to me, it's been a lot of save. Both my sister and I have arthritis in our hands, different types, but we still have it. And so this has saved us so much cramping from trying to use a regular glue bottle and just squeeze that all the time. This instead has the smooth trigger, and it's so easy to use. So let's talk about it. It comes fully loaded and ready to go. I forgot to mention, when you get it, it comes with a rubber band that holds these two parts together. I don't know what I've done with the rubber band. It's not really that important, except I can tell you when the tool came out, people were more excited about the rubber band than they were about the tool. Very weird, but whatever. Now, the stand is designed to hold your glue gun while in use. Down at the bottom, it's kind of hard to see, but you can see there's this red pad here. It's silicone, so it's a place where the tip of your glue gun should rest. That sort of blocks the flow. It blocks the air, keeps your glue from backing up. But this is plain old standard Nuvo glue inside. To use this, you're going to unscrew the cap. And there's a place for your cap to stand right here on the end of that stand, so you don't lose track of that while you're gluing. Now, I'm a lefty, so you're going to see me go at it with my left hand. But you know what? Use it with your right. Everything will be just fine. Here you can see you've got a very fine point precision tip. So all I have to do is apply a little pressure with however many fingers I want to use. This is where it differs from a hot glue gun, where you can only use 2 fingers. Here you've got the whole hand involved. You're just using a mild grip and pulling it down. And look at that fine straight line of glue you've got going there. It's easy to do little dots. I can't hold the paper straight to save my life, but whatever. So for embellishments or whatever, I'm putting hardly any pressure on this. When I'm done with it, I'm just going to set it back in the stand. Make sure you don't have to worry about it all the time. And I can't really show you, I don't think, very well, but you want to make sure that your tip is making contact with that red silicone, and you're good to go. On to the next project. Now, I told you it came with this extra empty bottle. This is where you can fill it with Nuvo glue. You can fill it with Barely Arts and Art Glitter Glue are 2 of the other faves. You can try any glue that you have that you like. What I can tell you is the comments that I've seen is that if it's a runnier glue, you may have trouble when you store it on the stand like this as the glue starts to run out a little bit. But otherwise, you're okay. But your second bottle, why might I want to fill it with Nuvo glue? Well, this has an entirely different tip on it. This is a thicker tip. It's kind of hard to see that, so you're going to get a broader line of glue coverage, which, by the way, look at how fast my glue's almost dry on there. I'm going to compare the lids because I think it might be easier for you to see this way. See the fine point that's there? and the broader almost nail in comparison on the spare bottle. So you get a broader tip. If you have a bigger area to cover, you might want to switch to this tip. So it's fairly easy to do. If you're interested more about this particular tip and what it can do and how it compares and contrasts to the other, stay tuned for my next video when I'm going to talk about precision glue tips that you can buy and just put on a Nuvo bottle instead of having the whole rig here. But first, I'm speaking to those who have hand problems and pain in their hands and that sort of thing. I can glue for hours with this. I can't glue for hours with just a Nuvo bottle, and they're not hard to use. They're not difficult. It's just my hands don't tolerate that much anymore. So when you're done for the day, you want to check your tip. Look at all the gunk that's on mine. So I'm going to take that gunk off, either with my fingers or a paper towel, and I'm using a bad paper towel. I apologize for that. In the craft room, I typically only use Viva paper towels. They're cloth-like, they don't lint, so they're better usage. And I would just put my cap in place. Now note there's a pin here. That pin has got to slide through the tube, and it's hard to line this up on camera. I'm sorry. I can't. The camera's between me and what I need to see, so I'm having trouble lining it up, but there we go. Line it up, screw it on, and you're done for the day. Now your gun does come fully loaded. It comes with a full bottle of Nuvo glue. Super easy to load and unload. To unload, just push back. It will unload easier without the cap on. So I should have done that before I put the cap on. Very stupid. But that's about it. When I'm ready to start up again for the day, I'm going to unclap my glue again and just slide it in. It's that easy. Not going to fall out on me. Push forward until you see it and hear it click. So let me do that again. Just lay it in and push it forward. If you want to use another glue, you're going to have to fill one of these bottles with it. Other glue bottles don't fit this, and the big bottle doesn't fit the glue press. Only this size, the 2-ounce bottle. So, you know, minor little detail as far as I'm concerned. When I'm done for the day, I do a couple of other things to ensure that I don't have problems next usage. I tap it to get the glue down out of the tube. I kind of burp it, so I grab the sides of the bottle and squeeze in to get any glue that's there back down. And I'll use my paper towel and wipe off that tip, the little ridges here that are going to screw in, and everything else. And then I know I'm not going to have problems the next time I go to use it, even if it falls upside down in my craft stuff. And so there we go. We're ready for another day. Refilling, you can either buy another 2-ounce bottle, and replace this one with that, or you can just unscrew the lower cap, which leads to the glue bottle, and I may not have done that for a while, so this may be a little difficult, especially since my hands aren't working well today. Yeah, they're not. So let me show you on the bigger one. And I'll tell you, even with these steel tips, you don't have to worry so much about capping right away. You do not want to leave them sitting for like 15 minutes or something. That's why I keep my regular Nuvo cap. And this is just a regular bottle of Nuvo. You can see here, no pin in the cap or anything. I always keep one of these caps sitting by because I can just screw that on quickly if I need to step away for a little while. Oops, as my other bottle is dripping, sorry. I'm a mess today. So there's a couple of little tricks that you'll come up with. But in any event, we're going to properly cap this guy and set it aside for the night. Now, you'll know when the time is to refill your gun I think it kind of depends on how sensitive your hands are. Between my sister and I, she has trouble with her hands, but she has more squeezing ability than I do. So she'll leave it go almost to empty before she'll refill her bottle. I start noticing problems with my hands about halfway through, so I'll stop at halfway and refill my bottle just to prevent, why put any more stress on joints that are already having issues, is kind of my philosophy on it. So it all works out. Again, you've got the second bottle that you can use with the bigger tip, upside down or right side up, it doesn't matter. Just push it in until you fill the clip and you're ready to go. Of course, you got to have glue in it or it's not going to work for you. And so it goes. I just love it because I can go hours and hours and hours gluing with this thing. Fine, tedious, precise things. Of course, you can always pull the bottle out and just use it like this. If you're in a real tiny spot and this big glue gun's getting in your way, don't worry about it. Pull the bottle out and use that where you have to. But the point is, you don't have to just use the bottle anymore. You can go ahead and use the apparatus, and it makes your life so much easier. You'll find as you're gluing along, it's almost as though you just hold your hand on the trigger and it flows like it's supposed to flow. When you first start a bottle, I'll tell you it's pretty full and it wants to come out pretty bad. So you have to let back on your grip just a little bit to get the glue flowing at a proper rate and not too much. As it gets less full, you have to pull back a little harder. These are all things you'll discover using it. So all said and done, this is like the best thing because it's such a relief to my hands. I can't tell you. And having the second bottle is very helpful. Having the second tip size is very helpful. This one is very fine. Again, I'm going to go back to my paper and it's pretty much all dry, but you can still see a little bit of a little remnants of the glue there to see how fine a line that really is and how fine dots you can get out of this thing. That gets annoying if you have a big area to cover. So it's nice to have this one. And then for refills, I just buy this bottle. I take the cap off. So we'll do it with this one. I'm unscrewing it at the bottom here. You've got the cap at the top that screws off, but the collar at the bottom also screws off. And then you can refill from this bottle. You can do it in one of two ways. You can use this, the tip, or you can take the tip out, which is pretty easy, wiggle out, and then pour from one bottle to the other. So you have choices on it. Now, when I take this tip out, usually I just need my fingers if it's gotten glued. You might have to use pliers to help you get it, but try not to be too harsh with it because you still might need to use that tip from time to time. Also, when I do it, I go in and I try and clean off these threads that are here that go inside, because next time I want to do that, I don't want to have a hard time because it all glued over for me or have the glue flowing over the top. Again, with this one, I'm going to tap it on a hard surface a couple of times. I'm going to burp it to the side to get that glue back down, wipe it off, and put my lid back. Just as easy as that. If you do those little maintenance things, you're not going to have trouble with this or any other Nuvo product like the glues. It's just very simple. So stop in and check out this precision glue press. It's in the pink box. I know you're going to love it. Again, it has nothing to do with hot glue. It's a different way to use your plain old Nuvo glue in a more comfortable way. You'll know what I'm saying if you have trouble with your hands. So check it out, please. It's been in and out of the shop a couple of times now. It's back in for the time being. Who knows when it goes back out? I'm sure she'll get more, but, you know, hey, this is the way it goes. But anyway, right or left-handed, it's an easy squeeze. You can do it. Thanks for watching. Again, if you're interested in more about this very fine tip, the very fine tip on this bottle, or the little bit wider tip, nope, it's only the fine tip, sorry, I gotta take that back, the fine tip on this bottle. Stay tuned for my next video where I'm going to talk about the tips only that are available for purchase. Thanks for watching. Bye.